Being a parent on a completely normal average day is arguably one of the most difficult jobs that there ever was. But when you add exhaustion and sleep deprivation to the mix, it is incredibly challenging. So that's why today I'm going to be sharing with you all my best tips and hacks about how to make it through a day as a mom when you're just completely exhausted and feel like you have absolutely nothing to give. I have one toddler who's getting close to 2 years old, and as of today I'm also 19 weeks pregnant with our second child. So I'm happy to say I have already endured the nausea and exhaustion of the first trimester, but I still have been incredibly tired and low on energy. Luckily my daughter is sleeping through the night, but since I've been pregnant I've been having a really hard time getting a good night's rest. For the first year of my daughter's life, and even now, she has always fought sleep, and for months and months and months my daughter woke up every 2 hours throughout the night. So I'm very familiar with sleep deprivation and trying to make it through a day. I'm personally super inclined to be watching these mom hacks videos because I don't know what mom doesn't want some extra tips to make things a little bit easier for her life. So that is also why I decided to get a few other mamas on board to share with you their mom hacks. And what's great is that while my mom hacks are going to be about sleep deprivation and surviving sleep deprivation, the other mamas out there are going to be sharing on different topics and giving you their best tips to help you out. So I really hope that you go and watch all of these videos and subscribe to these women as well. I know that they have so much wisdom and you're really going to benefit from their videos. I personally can't wait to watch them. So don't forget to check out their links down below. And also, if you are new to my channel and coming over from the other women's channels, thank you so much for coming. My name is Kaylin and I would absolutely love to have you subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's get into these tips. My first tip is a little bit unconventional and I'm not sure if you're going to want to hear it, but that is to actually accept being tired and being exhausted. I find that with so many things in life, when we are fighting things tooth and nail and just don't want to accept them, it makes them so much more stressful and overwhelming. I have definitely struggled with this personally and been incredibly frustrated about the amount of times that my daughter woke up throughout the night, or just how poor I'm feeling and how tired I am. And if I continue to hold on to that frustration, it just makes things so much worse because I'm just so fixated on how I'm not feeling well. But I have found that when I just accept it and accept the current circumstances and recognize that it's only for a season, even if it's a few years, it has made things so much easier, and it just helps to set my expectations super low in regards to the energy I'll have throughout the week and how much I'll be able to accomplish with the energy I have, and also in regards to how often my daughter may be waking up throughout the night. When I just completely let that go and accept that it could be literally every hour that I'm awake, things in my heart and in my mind just feel so much lighter, and I feel like once we make that attitude change, it's so much easier to endure how we're feeling. So there was a period of time when my daughter was, I feel like she was maybe 4 months old, and I was almost certain I had adrenal fatigue. My body felt so weak that it almost hurt. And there was a stretch of time where my husband would have to take off work to be able to help me care for Elia, my daughter, and just do the most basic things. And I was really overwhelmed by the situation and in a bit of a panic because I couldn't even care for my child, and to feel like I needed to rely on my husband when I knew he had work to do and other stuff. But I truly did not feel like I had any other option. That was so hard. So I actually went to the doctor and I got all my blood work done and everything came back perfect, but I still knew in my heart that something needed to change. That's what I knew. I knew something needed to change. And I was still nursing at the time, but what I decided to do was change my diet. And if you're feeling so exhausted, especially if you're feeling like how I was describing, where you literally felt like you couldn't do anything and your body almost hurt because you're so tired, really take a hard look at your diet and consider what you're putting into your body, because the food we're putting into our body is the energy that we have. And if they're not clean, whole foods, but they're more heavy and greasy foods, that's going to take so much more physical energy for our body to put all of its energy into our digestive system and focus on breaking down that food. So what I did was I switched to a plant-based whole foods diet. I guess it's probably similar to the Daniel fast or something like that. And I did that for months. So I really focused on eating fruit and vegetables and beans and whole grains, and I felt so much better. It happened gradually, but at the same time I feel like it happened pretty fast, and my energy was restored and I was not feeling as completely weak and overwhelmed physically as I was before. And I absolutely know it was my diet, because even for your body to break down a steak or something like that, that takes so much more physical energy from your digestive system than to break down fruits and vegetables that are water rich and have fiber and have a ton of nutrients that are actually going to be feeding all of your cells in your body and actually giving you more energy. And I feel like this component is often overlooked, and probably not by choice. I mean, we're all busy moms, but if you're feeling that bad, seriously try changing your diet. I know that will take a little bit of energy to prepare those foods, but you don't have to go crazy. You can keep it simple with smoothies and salads. So focus on those whole real foods in your diet that are water rich, nutrient rich, and will help give you the energy that you really, really need. Okay, this tip is applicable if you have other small children and you are so tired and literally feel like you're gonna fall asleep. And I think this can happen so much whether you are up all night with a newborn or you're pregnant and have just no energy. Create a safe space for you to lay down and for your kid to play in the same room where you know that they're safe and can't get into any trouble. So maybe that's gonna be your kid's nursery or bedroom, or maybe that will be a portion of your living space or living room. And make sure that they have whatever toys will occupy them, or if you need to put on some show for them to watch, do that, because oftentimes even if you can snooze for like 5 minutes, I found that my energy can really just kind of get rejuvenated and boosted. And I've heard too, a lot of parents talk about their kids having quiet time if they're older, so that might work if you just need that time to rest. And then of course there's the option to nap when they nap, and I personally have always struggled with this, probably because my daughter only naps for 30 minutes. Like, how am I going to take a nap for 30 minutes? That's just not going to happen. So this is slightly more last resort, like I seriously am going to fall asleep, sleep deprivation mode, but it is definitely something that is an option and that you can do in order to make it through your day. My next tip may sound a little bit counterintuitive, but I just want to tell you, take some time and put that into yourself. Definitely make sure you're taking care of just your most basic hygienic needs, like showering. Showering is very important still being a mom, and it is so incredibly rejuvenating. So make sure you're showering, you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your face. Really try and do your best to keep up with your other things too, like whatever skincare routine you have or the things that you like to do to pamper yourself. That is gonna make you feel so good. And also, if you can put a little bit of energy into your makeup and what you're wearing throughout the day, that's really gonna change your attitude and confidence throughout the day. And I know it may sound silly, but if you're wearing sweats and your hair is just like a bird's nest on top of your head and you have big bags on your eyes, when you look into the mirror, you are not going to feel motivated. You're not going to feel capable to do what you need to do. At least that's how I feel. But get a really good coverage concealer. I honestly had to up the coverage in my concealer when I became a mom, but I'm telling you, putting concealer on under my eyes and seeing my face with that was probably just as energizing as a hot cup of coffee. I'm not even kidding you. Just seeing my face look bright and awake, I'm like, I don't look too bad. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not in like a fancy outfit that you might have worn previously before you became a mom, at least have your house clothes look nice and semi-decent and put together. Have semi-decent t-shirts without stains or holes in them, and things that fit you nicely and just make you feel good. Things that you feel good in when you go out to do errands. Just put whatever sort of effort in that you can muster, and I promise you that that effort will pay you back. My next little tip for you is to stay off social media. When do you ever go on social media and by the time you put your phone down, you think, oh my gosh, I have so much energy. I just want to go do all of the housework and do all these things. I personally don't, and I have never felt that way. And not to say that I don't enjoy a lot of it and enjoy what my friends and people that I love are posting, because I do. But I know when we're feeling so tired, we're so tempted to just zone out and want to use technology, but that's not going to be energy or life producing at all. So I just suggest replacing those activities with anything else. Even if you can just go for a super slow paced walk around your block or to a nearby park or something like that. Getting outside, breathing fresh air, sitting with your kid and reading a book or playing with them. Focus on things that aren't just being on your phone and looking at a little screen and filling your mind with all these things that probably aren't the most uplifting. That tip may sound totally unrelated to sleep deprivation, but I challenge you to try it because it has really made a big difference for me and my energy. Really consider what is worth your energy and the most important things. Prioritizing these things is so incredibly important when you don't have much to give. You don't want to be pouring the little bit of energy you have into something that really doesn't matter or can wait, or something that even your husband could help you with later. Focus on the things that you want to give your best energy to. For me, being pregnant and tired lately, many days all I can do is just the bare minimum. I'm talking about getting food into my daughter's mouth and making sure her diapers are changed and maybe taking her to the park so she can run around. But being pregnant and really tired, sometimes that's all I can do. And I just have to accept falling behind on housework and not doing some of the other things that I would like to do, because you really only have so much energy to give. It's definitely okay to be in that place and to feel like we are just surviving, because being sleep deprived is incredibly challenging and it's not really healthy or normal for a body or how our body was designed to operate. But God will definitely give you grace for that season, so just extend that grace to yourself and know that it's okay to not be able to do everything right now, because even the bare minimum basics of taking care of your kids takes so much. So if you're doing that, I just want to say, feel proud of yourself. You are doing a great job, because I know how hard it can be and how long those days can feel sometimes. Okay, I I feel like some of these tips are gonna make you guys hate me. Trust me, I love coffee. Like, I love a good cup of coffee. But oftentimes when our bodies become dependent on coffee and we just feel like we need to chug it all day long to feel like we need to keep our head above water, that's actually really stressful on our bodies and stressful on our adrenals, processing all of that caffeine and managing just the highs and the lows of our energy. So I just want you to consider, if you're kind of crazy on your caffeine take, consider either eliminating it, replacing it with green tea or caffeinated tea, or just something that's not as intense as coffee and a little bit lighter and easy for your body to process, or just considering cutting back to a more modest 1 cup a day or maybe 2 cups a day. I have personally in my life been on all spectrums of the coffee thing. I love coffee, but now I tend to drink it once or twice a week. I don't even have any coffee grounds in my house right now, but I do drink a lot of green tea. And occasionally, if I'm tired, I will go out and get maybe a soy latte or something like that, which the caffeine will give me a little boost. And also just treating myself is something that I find to be really enjoyable as a mom who is always giving. Now, this tip you've definitely heard before, but I just want to emphasize the importance of it in relation to how much energy we have. As we all know, but I'm pretty sure most of us struggle with in our busy society, staying hydrated is so incredibly important. It affects your overall health and energy. I have personally found that when I'm dehydrated, I get so much more tired, and I actually am way more prone to be grumpy and in a bad mood if I'm dehydrated. Oftentimes when I'm feeling tired and I remember that I have not been drinking a lot of water, I just start chugging water and focus on hydrating myself, and I found that to make such a big difference in my energy and mood. And if you're breastfeeding or pregnant as well, this is going to be even more important because your body is really needing that water and really needing you to stay hydrated. Anyways, guys, those are my tips for you to survive sleep deprivation. You are an amazing mom and you are doing such a good job at what you're doing. I know how hard it can be when you are so tired, so I just want to encourage you to hang in there. And I know some of these little tips and hacks you may have heard before, but if you have not tried any of these, I'm telling you, you have to do them. I know a lot of them are simple, but they absolutely make such a difference, and this is coming from a very tired mom who has seen some improvement in my energy, so I really hope that they help you guys. And don't forget to check out the other beautiful women I'm collaborating with and subscribe to their channels and watch all their mom hacks videos so that you can get some extra tips and motivation for the hard job that you're doing every single day. I love you guys, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you here. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!